Hello, I'm Megan Jones, editor at Call Centre Helper, and I'm delighted to be joined today by Martin Jukes of Empathy Plus to take a closer look at the findings of the latest Call Centre Helper research and how contact centres are setting their priorities for 2026. So, Martin, were you surprised to see AI come out on top here?
No, hi Megan. No, I wasn't surprised at all. I was convinced beforehand that AI would have a very prominent place in this table. I think what's interesting is why is AI in there in the
Mm.
first place, and what is AI actually going to deliver? So I know we'll talk about some of those issues, some of those opportunities in a few minutes, but I think it's really important to understand the benefits that they're going to be driven rather than looking at AI as being the golden egg to solve everybody's problems. And I think that's probably driven by many people in across the industry, across the sector, in terms of looking for a product that will or a solution that will be the answer to all of their issues. But I think it takes a little bit more thought and planning than just putting a new piece of technology in.
And I said, that focus and prioritization on the golden egg is a bit worrying, really. But alongside that, it was actually nice to see engagement, coaching, and recruitment ranking quite highly for priorities in 2026 as well. So, is this a promising sign that contact centers are still focusing on their people?
I think it is. I think it's. I was really encouraged because I think the cumulative percentage for those two was way above AI. So I think that's really interesting, and it sort of demonstrates that contact centers are still regarding people as an asset. And I believe that we will need people to be able to interact with customers. We need to build those relationships and actually help customers by getting to know more about them through discussion and conversation rather than simply sort of pressing a button and automating everything. So I think there's a real opportunity there, and I was really pleased to see those featuring so highly. Yes.
So there's a delicate balance to maintain here, clearly. So, what would be your advice for leaders moving forward?
I think that AI certainly has a place and a good place. And I think later in the survey, there's a little bit more information around what people are going to use AI for. I think another question that I saw. I think that's the key thing is to think about what are we trying to do with AI? What is the problem? What are we trying to fix, or what are we trying to develop?
Yeah.
And then look to see is AI does it have a role to play in delivering that solution, rather than just thinking we can put AI and it'll do that. So I think there's lots of things that I've experienced over the years. So I remember a long time ago, an IT department deciding they wanted to reduce the number of calls for an organisation. So they went through a channel shift and moved everybody to email. And actually, what they found out afterwards was that it would cost them twice as much to handle an email as it was to handle a call. So those are some of the dangers, and we need to be clear what are we trying to do with AI, and how do we harness that to work alongside people to get the best service that's both efficient for ourselves but also efficient and effective for our customers.